What does it mean small? Big, it doesn't mean that in huge country like China, Russia, or US or India, no. Big country means that you have influence on market price and world price. If you don't have influence in the world price, if you import or not import, or the decision you import or not import, affecting the world price, that means you're a big country. Now, Thailand is a very small country, right? Compared to the world standard. But we are the big importing country of tuna. We're number one importer of world tuna market. We're also the biggest exporter of canned tuna in the world. So we are the biggest. We were very small. Because by not importing or exporting, affect the price of tuna in the world. So we are big. Thailand, we are big exporter of rice. Where the total market is about 40 million tons. We export about 10 million tons, 1/4 of the world market. So by not exporting, we affect the price. So we are a big exporter. Okay? So this is the one thing that whether you're big or small. Now, when you're big, that means you have the demand supply by yourself. If you're small, that means you're a price taker. You import and export, you don't import, it doesn't matter. The price, the world price is still the same. Now, normally in the international trade, as the undergraduate student, we are talking about small country. That means that imagine you don't have any power at all in the world market. You are a price taker. So that means that you have the world market like this. This is the world market. This is your demand. But the supply of world is vertical. So whatever the world price is, you take the world price. The amount of import of your country does not have any impact on the world market at all. So we are a small importing country. Is it okay? Clear, huh? Now, so we're talking about domestic market and world market. Okay, two things. Another thing that to understand is that with the domestic market, you can derive your so-called excess demand market in the world market. So this ED, excess demand, is derived from your demand subtract your supply at the different prices. At this price, your demand equal your supply, so it's 60. So you don't need to import. But once the price goes down, your demand is more than your supply. So you have an excess demand. So the excess demand represents the willingness of your country to import. So this will be the demand curve. Now, this graph the figure shows that the demand supply concept also apply to the world market. But we call it a different name. We call excess supply of the world, excess demand will be the importing country. That's it. But the demand supply concept is still there. Whatever you use in the domestic analysis and policy that kind of analogy can be applied in the world market. Okay? In other words, whatever you learn in the microeconomics is applicable in the world economic trade. That's it. Okay. Now, let's see what happened. So let's look at here. I will explain very slow and then make sure you understand. Now, WOT, it means that without tariff situation, is a free trade situation. PW means world price. PD means domestic price. QS means supply, domestic supply. QD means domestic demand. QM means import amount. Okay. TR revenue means revenue of government. Tax revenue paid by blah blah blah. We will do that later. Now, let's see. Suppose that there's no tariff. That means that no import duty at all. And the world price is at 40, this 40, that's the world price 40. World price 40, so at 40, you are producing, domestic production will be equal to what? 200. And the total demand will be equal to what? 600. Okay, so you see, domestic production 200 and domestic demand equal to 600. So the total import will be 600 minus 200 before 400. This will be the total quantity imported. So it's equilibrium. So no excess demand, no excess supply, no government revenue because no tax. Clear? Good. Now, suppose the government says, okay, I will impose 10 baht or $10 per ton of import. So what happened? Now, the question is that we are small importing country. Small means no impact in the world market at all. So world price is the same. Okay, world price is equal to 440. No change at all because the world price you buy by 40 only, right? You're gonna buy 330, you're gonna buy whatever. It should be anything under 40, nobody sells you anyway. So you're price taker. So world price doesn't really affect. Domestic price is affected. So domestic price will be what? The world price plus the tax. World price 40 plus 10 equal to 50. So domestic jump from 40 to 50. So these are domestic prices. The domestic price become 50, then the total supply of the domestic will increase to 300. Okay? Because higher price, people produce more. With the high price, consumer consume less. Decrease to what? To 400. Okay? So you can see that with that, you can see that the domestic production 300 and the demand not 300, it's 500, sorry. 500. Okay? So then total demand 500 minus 300 equal to 200 input. Okay? Please correct it. It's a mistake. Okay? So see, by having the tax, import tax, immediately the producer will get benefit because the price increased, right? He produced more, right? So that will create the benefit to the producer immediately. And then immediately the producer, the consumer will be hurt because he paid high price, right? And who happy again? The government, isn't it? But because you import 200 units, each unit the government collect 10 unit, 10 baht, 10 whatever. So the government collect the tax of 2,000. See? So at this particular cases, you can see that all this 200 is paid by who? Paid by the consumer, isn't it? You see? Yeah? Consumer used to pay for 40, now pay what? 50, right? So they pay extra. This is paid to the domestic market, and this is paid to the tax, right? So the burden of tax is actually go directly to the consumer. Okay? Is that okay or not okay? Let me repeat again. No tax situation is clear, right? With the tax, you will see what effect on price. Immediately you add 10 to 4 will be domestic price equal to 50, right? 50 means what? Means either you buy the domestic produce or import, you pay 50, right? With 50, you are consuming 500 units. With the 500 unit, 300 units is imported, is domestic produced. Another 200 unit is imported, right? So you are paying a high price, isn't it? right? You pay high price, some portion of high price go to the producer. Some portion, at least 2,000 of that, go to the government as a revenue, right? Here, from here to here, this, 300, you pay 10 baht more, 3,000 will be go to the producer, right? That 2,000 will go to the government tax. The world supplier, no effect at all. The only effect is that you export to your country, instead of 400, then only 200 only. No effect. Because it's so small. Right? So in the trade war, actually the US citizen will pay for the tax. Some of the item, US is a small importing country. Okay? So the consumer is paying tax. So Trump is taking a line. Right? You say, well, we will try to penalize the Chinese producer. No, Chinese producer doesn't pay the tax. You, American, pay the tax. Xi Jinping the same thing. We tax the American. Again, the Chinese people pay for tax. Right? So taxation itself is either you're a big country or small country. US big, but some commodity you are small. For example, China is not the big importer of soybean, not the biggest. Right? Wheat importing from China is not the biggest.